I think we're live. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We're going to do another Reading Rock subscription box unboxing tonight. And we are on the early years box, and it's a very exciting one. And we're lucky enough to have two authors for each of the featured books in the box. And in particular, one of the books, it's very, very exciting because Michelle Robinson hasn't even seen the finished copy of her book. We were so lucky to feature it early because it's still not published, and the boxes went out just over a week ago. So that was really, really kind of Farshaw to allow us to do that. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome our guests into the studio and we can get started. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Rashmi.
Hiya.
How are we doing this evening?
Excited.
I was going to say, Michelle, on a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult has it been not opening that box until tonight?
Really hard, not just because there's one of my books in there that I haven't seen yet. That is obviously, as an author, that's really exciting. But actually, we were just chatting before. I just genuinely love books. I can't wait to see Rashmi's book. I can't wait to see what's inside this box because I know I've seen pictures that you've. It just looks brilliant. So I'm really excited to open it. Can we get on with it soon?
Should we make a wait, actually?
Should we do it?
Are we ready? I feel like we need a bit of a countdown. Should we go for 3,
Countdown,
2, 1, open?
So exciting. I've done some of the sellotape.
I've cheated and I cut the sides. Do you know why? Because I am a health and safety disaster when it comes to box openings. Literally, don't give me a knife. Don't give me a pair of scissors. Cannot be trusted. Have you got it open?
I'm ready, I think.
Oh, the tissue paper's off. The tissue paper's off.
Tissue paper. It's there. It is there. It's your bag.
Show me yours, Rashmi. I want to see yours.
Oh, this is amazing.
Colour tones.
Match. It's a match made in heaven. There you are.
It's amazing. Oh.
Happy yellow books. That's what it is.
This is so cool. Oh no. Got sharks as well.
Amazing.
Bit of extra information.
Yes, we've got
Ocean Day or something. Is that today?
World Ocean Day today as well, yes.
Day.
Excellent timing.
We've got
chocolate orange.
Oh, you're going straight for the chocolate?
Yes.
But yes. Goodies. Yeah.
What a bunch of dinosaurs.
I can read your book now. The rest of that, I won't even read my snap filters.
Oh my gosh. I'm useless. Yeah.
Is it glasses under or glasses on? Can't see.
It's pushed on the back of your head. That looks super cool. Coolosaurus.
Chocolate flavour coffee. Yes, that is my kind of coffee.
Can't see a thing.
Chocolate flavour anything. Biscuit. You got biscuit.
You can challenge me with anything that I can't see.
I'm going to keep it on the side. Biscuit. This is very clever. This is. So you've got your coffee, you've got your biscuit, and your books
ready to read.
Oh, and what are these called? These stamps.
Spark stamp.
They're great. They're really great.
This is correct. So I'm going to stamp this everywhere. I'm a bit of a sucker for stationery.
Teachers suckers for stationery as well.
Completely.
I can see the teachers, because there's quite a number theme with the books, kind of stamping the dinosaurs and getting the children counting. That was kind of part of the thought behind it. Fantastic.
What a good idea. Yes. Counting books, always fun.
When I chose the books, I didn't choose them on their cover, on their yellow covers, but don't they go together? How good's that?
They really, really do. I'm just guessing because I've read about Rashmi's book, but I've not looked in it yet because I know the last one as well in the series. I think they would be a really good pair together, wouldn't they? Kind of accumulated the fun, kind of ratchets up as you go along.
So lots of people watching might be familiar with this one. So I have a children's bookshop as well, and this is super popular in there. So when I knew that this one was coming out, I was like, whoa, that's perfect for the boxes for schools. That's going to be great. Rashmi, do you want to tell us a little bit about it and where the idea for it came from?
So this is, or we call the first book our love letter to reading and books, and this one's our love letter to maths, because it's all about the amazing things that numbers can do and the doors that maths can open, but not in a way that whacks you over the head with a message, if that makes sense. It is just a super silly story that happens to be a STEM or a STEAM adventure. And it came about because when I was little, I sort of fell out of love with maths. I don't know about you, Michelle. Did you love maths growing up?
I liked the process of it, sort of, but when I look at numbers, I get really stressed because they don't come naturally to me. I panic when I see numbers. So in school, I quite liked it because there was a teacher and I kind of had this thing that I had to follow. Now, I just can't.
This is it for so many people. It really is. And for some people, it starts at school. So, and I had that where when I was growing up, it was like, you're a numbers person or you're a words person. So I thought I was a words person. But now we say you can be everything. And so my kids love words and numbers. So I thought I wanted a book that has that, makes maths fresh and exciting. And, my son, he's just turned 7. He loves maths. And you see his brain going. He's a bit of a mathematician when he's doing mental maths. It's like it's solving a puzzle, like you said. And that is the magic I wanted to capture in the book.
And you certainly did. You certainly did. Do you have a favourite part?
No, I love all of it. And I love all of it because Diane, this is our second book together, and Diane Ewan is just amazing. I don't leave her any art notes at all because she just comes up with the most wonderful ideas. And just every single page is a delight.
Look at that.
She just went for it,
I love the way she puts the other book in there as well.
Yes, and on the very last page.
A few appearances.
Yeah,
I love that.
I love that.
A book within a book.
Mm-hmm.
You like this one?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's bedtime. It's the bedtimey ending I always dreamed of writing, and we did it in this one.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Now I need that
character as well. She does really lovely characters, doesn't she? I'm trying to get
gorgeous. That is Diane's sample for this sort of job was this little girl, and we all fell in love with her immediately. She hasn't changed one bit. She was perfect the way she was when Diane did the sample.
Brilliant.
Amazing. Oh, that's so good. So, I mean, is it too early to ask? Is there another pairing with you and Diane?
I think I can say yes, there will be, and I actually hope we're going to make lots of books together because I love working with her. I really do. I think we go well together.
I think you do. I think you certainly do. I think it's lovely when authors and illustrators find a pairing that really works, and that leads us on to your book, Michelle. You're paired with the same illustrator as 1, 2, 3 do the Dinosaur. So tell us about your experience of working with Rosalind then.
Oh, Ros is amazing. There's just something just like Diane, really. It's sort of cute, accessible, but also just aesthetically really gorgeous. They're such skilled draftsmen. They just draw so well because they observe. It's just like writers do. We notice how things, so even though it's a kid in a shark costume, it's somehow completely believable because the movement in it's just so true to young children. So I've loved working with Ros, and like Rashmi, I don't tend to give many kind of directions to illustrators at all. I prefer to just let them draw who they want, what they want. I often don't even specify whether my characters are humans or male or female. I just think go for it, because ultimately they've got to spend months drawing the same person over and over again. I want them to love it, and I want them to really enjoy it, and hopefully Ros does. It feels like she does. When you look at her lovely pictures and you sort of see the joy in the movement, you kind of think she has to have enjoyed doing that. I hope
she's got to. I certainly think so. It looks like it. So tell us a bit about your book, Michelle. Your brand new book that's not out yet.
My shiny new book. Here it is. So it's published by Farshawe, who were Egmont and are now Farshawe, which I have to remember. And yeah, we did 1, 2, 3 do the Dinosaur together, me and Ros with them. And basically they're sort of counting stories, but you only really ever get up for 5. They are for very little children, but more so than being about numbers, what they're really about is actions. So I really believe that for a lot of young children, actually sometimes reading can seem like something that means you have to sit still, and that can be to some children off-putting. Actually, to some adults children, the adult says, I don't want to read to you because it means you have to sit still, and you'll never sit still, so I'm not going to read him a book. Well, these books are all about doing the actions and joining in. So actually it's kind of loosely inspired by Walk the Dinosaur, you know, that Was Not Was song. And also by what was that drink called? Was it Mbongo? Mbongo,
yeah.
The drink
You drink
the
the
jungle.
Yeah, I mean, don't ever look back because it's not great, but it was just that lovely rhythm. And I just thought I loved that rhythm as a child, that just sort of felt like just reading the words felt like it had a beat. And so that's the idea, is that you read it, there's a really clear, obvious beat, and there are sort of instructions for the actions you can do. So it's a getting the wriggles out book. You know, you join in, pretend you're a shark, and you have a lot of fun reading. So yeah, it's just a sort of an active read for wriggly little ones.
It was brilliant. When I read it and thought that I can see the early years setting full of little sharks, and you know, I can see them all joining in. Just perfect for that classroom. I was going to ask another question then. So in the classroom, you've talked a little bit about the children doing the actions and kind of and joining in. I wonder whether both of you we can talk about reading for you in school. So these boxes are designed to help teachers meet great new books like yours, and make sure that they're up to date with children's literature that is inspiring, that's captivating, that is representative of now. And when the teachers get excited opening the box, some of our teachers open them with their children, which I absolutely love. Then that enthusiasm and excitement for those new books, you know, it just emits out of them, and the children get that, and they're caught up and, you know, inspired to read themselves. Do you have any memories of reading at school or when you were young?
Can I jump in? I've got one. And then Rashmi will have a think. Heather and I were chatting about this earlier, so I've got one top of mind so I can go. So my teacher, when I was probably about 6, 7, used to read to us at the end of every day. So she just built it in. Whatever happened at the end of every day, she'd make us get our coats and our bags off our pegs. We'd sit back down at our desks so we were ready to go home. No more faffing about, you know, all the rustling had been done. And she'd read us a story. And it was just lovely because you were sort of getting out of that school day frame of mind and thinking about going home. And home for me could be quite stressful. I never quite knew what I was going home to. So it was just this lovely bit of time where she was just reading to us. It wasn't about all the other things we knew she had to do. It was just about giving us a story. But I used to get really upset because I was a minibus kid, and the minibus would come early and I'd miss the end of the story. I was gutted. I loved it. But she's like one of my biggest heroes because she set aside that time. And she wasn't the best reader. She wasn't necessarily a really dynamic reader, but she picked good stories and she read them. She took the time and the care to make sure she did that every day, which was just magic.
So what a powerful message to say that you're special enough for me to give you that time, and you know, and that reading is that special to give them that time. So important. When any teachers ask me about advice of reading at pleasure at school, my absolute first thing is just making time to read to them every day and make it sacrosanct. So important, isn't it?
Yeah, and don't look at your phone or don't do something else. Really make it clear. This is reading time and it's ring fenced. I mean, that was lovely, Mrs. Lewis. It was only ever 5 minutes, but it made me feel like she cared about me. And it also made me feel, even though she knew nothing about my home life, that she understood that I might not be going home to the best of things. So she was going to give me a story. That's just how it made me feel.
Oh,
and
wow.
I still have that lovely feeling about books because she helped instill it. So yeah.
Wow, magic.
No, it's so amazing how those things stay with us. Like, this is going way back, and yet you just don't forget those little things. And I really love what you said, Michelle, about how it doesn't matter if you're not the best reader, because I find sometimes teachers, I see on Twitter saying that, you know, I don't feel very confident about reading because I'm not as good a reader as someone else, you know. And I think this all the time as a writer. Like, you know, when I read, I'm not the same as that person. I don't present like that person. But you've got to just put that all out of your head, because kids just happy to have you giving them that time. It's just what you said. You don't have to be a performer to give them that. I really love that.
Definitely. And it's like we say, I'm sure you say this to children all the time, Rashmi, that it's okay to make mistakes, and that we make mistakes as writers all the time. And it's completely okay to fluff the lines when you're reading. It doesn't matter. It just shows children that actually it doesn't necessarily come easily, but it's still a wonderful and brilliant, fun thing to do. Even grown-ups get it wrong sometimes. It shouldn't be something that stops you doing it. It's all right. You know,
it's actually important to show them that, isn't it? And sometimes make a little mistake just so that they see, you know, they don't think of you as this Mary Poppins perfect character.
Completely. I don't have to consciously think about making a mistake, because I'll inevitably make it. I think it's really human and really nice. No, it's true. Do you know what I remember from school are those massive books? Did you have them? They were just
big books.
Yeah, are they real, or did I dream them? Yes,
they're real.
They are real, aren't they? I just thought when I saw those, I was tiny, so they were even bigger, and that for me was it just captured how big books are, literally and just figuratively. The fact that they are these big, important things that take up half the room, and I haven't seen them since then. But
I think in some dusty stock cupboards in schools, they're still there lurking.
It's because you're bigger now, Rashmi, so they look smaller.
Like this.
No, there are definitely big books about. I remember using those at the beginning of my teaching career. But that's like before we had big screens in the classroom.
Yes, that's what it is. That's why they were big.
But I think the magic of having the book and turning the pages, you can't get that on a screen, can you?
No.
We should have a campaign. Bring back the big books.
But it's true, because, you know, picture books on iPads and things was meant to be a thing, and all the publishers sort of got geared up for it to start with, and they just didn't see any sales, because the reality is it's just not satisfying. It's weird. I don't know why it shouldn't be, because arguably the child can still be on your lap. It's still story time, but there's just something about the physicality of a book and turning a page. I'm not digital versions at all. There's just something you can't replicate about the physicality. And that's something that was so amazing about big books. They're just so substantial. And it did just feel like a movie prop, didn't it? They were just like...
It was special. Reading was special because you got to go and touch those big things. And just like you, I loved story time. Sat on my little square or circle or whatever it was. I don't remember any of that, but I just remember the feeling of being read to. And I didn't get that in the older years, where I see children now, you know, many teachers do read at the end of the day, even in the older years. And I think, wow, I would have loved that. I didn't have that.
Yeah, it's absolute magic. And it is, you're right, it's the feeling you remember. And that's what gives you those positive associations with books and with reading as you grow, because it stays. So when teachers are fostering that love of books by getting these boxes and, like I said, opening them with your class, what a lovely thing to do. Sharing that anticipation, sharing that excitement about, oh, look what we're going to be reading about. I mean, it's amazing. It's so cool. And actually them seeing a grown-up, a teacher, someone they respect and look up to, being really excited about books, it rubs off. It's just...
It really does. It's powerful. It's powerful. And when you read... Go on, Rashmi, sorry.
I know, I'm terrible for talking over people on the internet, especially because I have a bit of a lag. Sorry. The thing I always think about reading for pleasure is the single most important thing you can do is pass on that like complete love of books. If you do nothing else, like none of the other activities, but you pass on that feeling as a teacher, as an adult. I am obsessed with books. I love them. I'm excited about them. Different types of books, from poetry and nonfiction to picture books all the way through school. You like you'll pass that on because they want to be like you, and they feel that, they catch the feeling, and they won't lose it all their lives, I think.
Absolutely. As particularly, we're talking about the younger years. Even more so, they look up to you as the adults in the early years setting. So it's really important to get it right then. And I think when you read a book together, there's that sense of that shared experience. We've been on this visit to Under the Sea or to meet the dinosaur. We've done that together, and the sense of community and shared experience is really powerful.
Definitely. That's just, you can't get it with anything else. You don't get it from watching a film together. And again, I love films. I watch a lot of them with my family, and it's great. But there's nothing as bonding as sharing a book, because it goes on in here.
It's because you have to invest in it yourself, don't you? I think with a film, it does a lot for you, whereas with a book, a book isn't quite finished when you're done with it. When the publishers are done with it, the reader has to connect with it. It's a real magic.
They are magic. It is magic. And I think what I love most about the magic, and I know there's all sorts of brilliant scientific kind of things that have been looked into about why books work and how they work and why they're magic. But for me, the magic in picture books is the magic that goes between, I don't know, somewhere you can't put your finger on, and actually it's between the words and the pictures. It's that space between, and it's that chemistry between the two things. And like you said, the gaps it leaves for you to fill in, and the places it sort of fires you off to. And the feelings it leaves you with, not just the being read to, but the place you've been to, or the feelings you've experienced by walking in those people's shoes for a while. It's amazing.
Certainly is, and to inspire the children as writers, even with the younger years, in your book, these two, that sense of the going on a little journey with the character and counting on, they can mimic that, and they can take it on and create themselves. I can see them in the classroom, really kind of, it might not be a shark, it might be
that's it. They're lion. They're made for you to remember and mimic and play out in your own way. And the feedback I get from nurseries and from reception teachers particularly is just that the kids have had this wild time and they've all become dinosaurs, which is just really nice. So now they're all going to be becoming sharks, which is quite exciting. Dinosaurs with Rashmi and sharks with me. We've got it all covered, all these toothy predators.
You are on a winner with dinosaurs, aren't you? I think if you've ever had children, you certainly know some dinosaur names. It's like a learning curve, isn't it? I know my Pachyrhinosaurus from my Parasaurolophus, thanks to my daughter.
I saw a new one on the news this morning in Australia. Like Titanosaurus or something, or Titanosaurus. Like the biggest one ever found in Australia is an absolute whopper. As big as a basketball court or something, as long as a basketball court. But I think that's what's so lovely. My son was mad on dinosaurs, and it's those facts, isn't it? And knowing the difference between these giant lizards. But as an author and someone who just has a silly imagination, for me, it's just the very notion that once our world was covered in giant lizards is ridiculous.
It's brilliant.
If you hadn't found the bones, I'd be like, get away. Just it's just bonkers. And then it makes me think that maybe fairies are real, and it's just that we haven't found their bones because they're so small.
Don't maybe that. Okay. We had
she's there. They are.
They're there.
That's it. And maybe their bones dissolve. So we just,
How would you know? Yeah.
Exactly.
Amazing.
My daughter
has why you two are writers.
So It's how we were read to as children.
Yes. Well, I'm thinking about with the dinosaurs, and all the big names, and the children know them even when they're little, and the curiosity that it inspires within them. Do you think that's why we see lots of dinosaur picture books?
I don't know. I think children definitely know more names. Well, I think they know more names than we did in my generation, for sure, because it was, it was very, maybe it was, Triceratops, T-Rex, a very limited few that we knew. And now it's, Pachycephalosaurus or whatever. And I just think, you're 5 and I learned this year. So what are you talking about? But I think dinosaurs have been they're a perennial favorite in books, aren't they? And they have been for ages. It's what you said, they're fascinating. Just the idea that they roam the earth, just what?
I think it teaches us not to underestimate the littlies as well. What they want to know, what they can take on board.
I think there's always something really lovely as well about anything that we can't fully know everything about. So some of it's guesswork. So actually, it means that kids they can know just as much as we do actually, because we still don't know what colour they actually were. We're guessing. We're kind of supposing what things are like now. Yeah. Feathers, so supposedly feathers on some, and chickens are directly descended from T-Rexes, which is just the most brilliant. I don't know whether it's urban myth, but it's a wonderful thought, isn't it? That my great granddad was a dinosaur, and I'm a little chicken. It's just
don't mess with me. Great granddad.
it's great fun, and I think that's why my son, for instance, never liked vehicles, and I feel he was always into any animal and dinosaur, and I think it's because they have faces as well. So in picture books they can actually feel like characters too, and I think that also makes them kind of likable to little tots, doesn't it? These giant beasts that they might have accidentally seen a trailer to Jurassic Park, but these guys they look really lovely. It's lovely. They're lovely and massive, and the biggest pet you could get.
That's the thing, they're lovely and massive. So I feel like you have all this potential for chaos and fun with them, because even if they're the loveliest things, if they walked into a yoga class, which is a book my publisher wouldn't let me make yet, they would just, so I'll just do it here, it just cause chaos, wouldn't they? They'd be all over the place through no intention to cause chaos.
or maybe those people have been doing yoga, they look after themselves, they're going to taste amazing. You never know.
I love that.
I'd go for the ones at McDonald's personally. Or tastier.
Your imagination's brilliant. I love it. Well, our time is ticking over, so I thought I'd ask you a fun question at the end. So you can we've got sharks and we've got dinosaurs. So either your favourite dinosaur or your favourite shark, or which one are you most like, dinosaur or shark? Go on, Michelle, you can go first.
Oh, I'm probably more like a really plodding dinosaur. Certainly at the minute, I'm full of cold and a little bit dopey. So I'd probably be something like what's the tall one? Diplodocus? Is that how you're meant to say it? I'd be something like that, a little bit clumsy. But generally, like you said, meaning well, trying not to stamp on anyone, but probably knocking stuff over. I wouldn't be a shark. I'd be afraid of myself, and I don't like the fish or the deep sea.
Do you have a favourite shark?
A favourite shark? My son has this pack of cards, and they're all sharks. I can't think of its name now, but it's really unattractive. It has this really weird nose. I wish I could. Goblin-nosed shark, I think it's called.
Clues in the name.
So that's my favourite.
That's your favourite. I love that. Go on then, Rashmi. Would you be a dinosaur or a shark?
Michelle stole my answer, because I was going to say a dinosaur because I'm really clumsy. But really, I'm a complete joke. I sort of started growing at one age and forgot that my limbs grew. So when I walk through a door, I will whack an arm or something. It's just so unprofessional at events. But it happens to me. So I'd be definitely something unwieldy.
Definitely not a T-Rex with small arms.
No, that's not me. Everything's long all over the place.
And I can't remember whether we mentioned it before. So already the both of the books are part of a series. So we've got 1, 2, 3 Dinosaur and 1, 2, 3, do the shark. Is there going to be another one? Are we allowed to talk about it?
There's going to be at least another one. And I've just sent
Exciting.
it off to Farshore. And it's actually, even though I really love these two, I think it might be my favourite one. But that's normal as an author. Your favourite thing is always what you've just written, you know.
And how long do we have to wait for that one?
Hopefully not too long. It'll depend how busy Roz is, really. Roz Beardshaw. She's a very popular, very talented lady, so she'll probably be busy drawing all sorts of other brilliant things.
But
so,
we can watch out.
Sit tight and be patient.
But that's all you're going to say about it. Ooh.
That's all I'll say.
Oh, maybe a clue, maybe not. So,
Maybe
and
not.
we've had Never Show a T-Rex a book, and then we've got Stegosaurus and Sums. Did you say before the map there is going to be another one? Or not?
There is going to be another book. I'm not allowed to say a thing, but yes, that's all I can say. I'm really excited because I
Leave
love
us
Diane.
guessing.
So, yeah.
And when's that one going to be out?
I have no idea. No idea whatsoever. Just
Sounds
but
familiar.
there are other yes. Yeah, it's just we genuinely, publication dates are like, do you find this, Michelle? Sometimes you'll get one and you'll be like, oh right, so that's the book. I had 5 books moved out of this year to next year. 5.
Yeah.
And so
Wow.
I don't really pay any attention to publication dates anymore because I just think,
Yeah,
oh,
I don't.
believe it when I see it.
I
You don't
was
see
gonna
it,
say,
you just
well,
believe it when I see it.
Yeah, I believe
It'll
it
come
when I
out
see it.
some
And this
point.
one, the shark actually got stuck in the Suez Canal. So he's been
Did
bumped
it?
back a bit. He actually got stuck. I love the idea that there was a shark stuck in the Suez Canal. But yeah, just one of those things. But yeah, I'm with Rashmi. I just I don't plan anything because I just think I have no idea when anything's coming out.
Well,
Or if-
hopefully
Roll with it. Roll
when the
with it.
next ones come out, it'll be a little bit more in the real world, and you can get around lots of bookshops and schools and visit people. That would be really exciting.
Yeah, let's hope so. This is nicer. This is still good, right? And this is actually doing these video things. I've found I've reached a lot more places, a lot more schools. I did one the other day through Scottish Book Trust with this really remote little Scottish island, and you think, I'd never have been able to go there otherwise.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to see all the positives in all of this.
Absolutely,
That's
and
very true. Yeah.
I think it will carry on, and it'll be a nice mix of getting to some schools for real, but like you say, accessibility for getting here, there, and everywhere.
Cheaper too, and it's kinder on the environment. So I'm sure it's with us to stay. This bit is anyway. Let's just hope the virus isn't.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. We'll set the dinosaurs on it.
Bring them back. Someone's trying to bring them back through DNA because that didn't go wrong in Jurassic Park or anything.
It
Not at
was
all.
fine.
That worked
It was
really well.
It chose some
brilliant idea.
I think.
I love that I've got you both to wear those masks live on YouTube. Amazing.
We're authors. We don't.
Yeah,
I don't know about you, Rashmi. I never care really what I look like. Not a lot.
No. Quite like it.
It's
Can't
quite
see
good
very
that we
much.
all managed to get a different one. I'm
It's
not sure what
Yeah, we
mine
did.
is. I think mine's a Triceratops.
better than the Snapchat filters. I do that. I like it.
This is old school filters.
Okay. I love it.
Quite envious of that pink one, actually, Heather.
Oh, sorry. I quite like my pink one.
Yeah.
It was just random in the boxes.
I think I'm a Triceratops. Talking about naming
you are.
dinosaurs.
I don't know what I am.
I mean, I
should-
genuinely think I'm a Triceratops. If I need help.
Brilliant.
Getting into character.
Down.
I love them. Michelle, you actually have a dinosaur outfit, don't you? Do you?
Dude.
I didn't dream that.
Yes.
You do. Are you going to get a shark one?
I just about still fit in it as well because I got it last year, I think, in to promote this one in lockdown. So I put it on and I went around my town. If you look on my YouTube channel, you'll see me dressed as a dinosaur, wandering around. I've been writing about unicorns today. I've got unicorns on the brain. But yeah, I need to get a shark onesie now. Like
You need to
should.
get a shark.
But
And
yeah.
then all the teachers watching this should book you both for author visits.
Oh, would it be nice to do something together, Rashmi? Can you imagine? Oh,
It'd be so
Oh, you could definitely do a dinosaur one together, couldn't you?
double trouble.
Yeah, really just clumsily wander around.
Knocking everything over.
I have
Yeah,
public liability insurance. It's fine.
That's what it's for.
It's all right in your own building. Oh, well, thank you both so much for joining me. It's been a real blast. And thank you for opening the box for everybody to see.
Thank you
Thank
very
you for
much.
having us.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll see you again very soon.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
you. And
Thank
good luck with
you.
your brilliant boxes. They're amazing.
Thank you.
They are, yes. Bye.
Bye.